Okay, thank you very much. Hi guys, great to meet you. My name is Owen. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me today.
Hey, Owen.
Hey, Owen.
Love the hat.
I
JCVD.
I love
Oh,
Woo!
that
thank you.
film.
Yeah,
I
I
think he
know.
should have got nominated for an
I know.
Oscar
It was
that year.
so incredible. It's like
that's a
Yeah,
the
great movie.
vulnerability laid out was just like,
but the
yeah.
wrestler took it all that year.
Ah, that's
Yeah, we
right.
all know
Yeah.
JCVD is the king, though.
Yeah, that was
Hmm.
great.
Yep.
It's a good
Yeah,
film.
Yeah.
that was it. So we're going to be talking about your new movie, Weekend in Taipei, which is awesome. It's actually one of my favorite action movies of the past few years. Just delivered
Oh.
everything in terms of action, laughs, and great characters as well. So, George, how did you work with Luc Besson in creating the script, and what was the process for that?
Hmm. Well, I got a call from Luc Besson like 10 years ago. I thought it was my manager playing a practical joke on me, but it turned out to be the real Luc Besson. So that was incredible. Yeah. So 10 years ago, he had read a script that I'd written and really enjoyed it and said, "Hey, I'd love to collaborate with you on some other projects." And so, yeah, we've been writing together for 10 years. And a couple years ago, he had this idea. He wanted to do a female transporter movie set in Asia. And so, just off of that sort of basic premise, he and I started asking questions back and forth. Okay, well, what is a female transporter transporting? What is she running from? What is she running to? What is it that she's trying to protect? And out of those questions, we sort of crafted the story of Weekend in Taipei.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Now, so I love the look of Huang with the grey hair stripe. Is that a little nod to Sammo from the martial law days?
Oh,
Mm.
did Sammo have a streak?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
it's the grey thing right there. Yeah.
no? It's actually inspired by what's the character's name from 101
Cruella
Dalmatian?
Deville.
Yeah,
Cruella de Vil.
yeah.
Well, it's also, so Sung had pointed out, he got to set that he had a little gray like streak, just organically happening on his own, and so okay, let's heighten that, let's make it more dramatic, and so yeah.
Sammo,
Hmm.
wait,
What?
does
Which
when
one?
where does he have that just like naturally?
No, I don't know if it was a stylistic thing. I know he did it in martial law, but then also in Ip Man 2, he had the grey stripe and sort of like went
Oh,
through
okay.
through.
Oh, you know, I
Yeah,
played his son in martial law. Did you know that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
watched the whole show. I love that show.
that was
Yeah.
like my first. I think that was like my first paid job. You know how I got that job? Is like I got it in the bathroom.
Oh, all the
And
best
What
places
Stan,
happen
bathrooms
in
are
the
you
bathroom.
frequenting?
yeah, Stanley Tong. I was working at this restaurant, and Stanley Tong, the producer, I was peeing in the bathroom, and he
Mhm.
stands next to me, and we're peeing next to each other, and
Yeah.
he goes, "Hey, are you an actor?" And I was like, I'm trying to be, right?" And he's like, "Well, I'm a producer for this TV show with Sammo," and I was like, "Sammo, what?" And he's like, "Do you have a headshot?" And I said, "I do. I have one in my car." And I was like, "What's this all about?" I was like, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Stanley Tong, producer." And he was having dinner with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was like, that guy, he looks like an actor. You should like, you know, help him out because he looks really stressed at this restaurant." 'Cause I was like the worst employee this restaurant ever had. That's why I was always hiding in the bathroom, right? Like I was fired every single day, right? She's like, he doesn't belong here. He looks out of place, which I probably did, but yeah, that's how I got that job in martial law. And then I went in, and I don't know any martial arts, and Sammo is truly this is what a true star is. Like when I
Mm.
met Sammo, he goes, "You're playing my son, and we have these epic martial arts scenes." And I told Stanley and Sammo, I said, "I do not know any martial arts. I intentionally never studied it because said I don't want to, mimic these other like, action, like these martial arts superstars like Bruce Lee. Like we already have them. I don't need to do that, right?" But I told him, I was like, "I appreciate this opportunity, but I do not know martial arts." And
Mm,
Sammo, for 5 days, we were at his house, and he trained me, and we did the choreography. He was like a
Wow.
true mentor, right? And
mhm,
I thought I was gonna get fired, and I was like, it's okay to replace me because I don't know martial arts, but
mm,
he's like, we really need like the performance, and the martial arts stuff. We can hire some doubles. I think I had like three doubles for
mm,
like different angles,
Mm.
and
yeah.
And to this day, like I run into Sammo once in a while. I'm sorry to go on to Sammo,
No, I love
but he was
love hearing about
one of the
Sammo.
first.
Yeah.
He was like truly like one of these actors and like mentors that you have you're blessed to meet, that kind of teaches you how to give back and contribute. There was never a day that I felt there was ego from him. There was, you could tell that he loved what he was doing. He loved the craft of filmmaking, and he was out there to help the younger generation. And he really kind of set the tone of, you know, how I give back to like the younger folks, and because he didn't need to do that, And every time I see him, he's always giving me some food. Like every day I left his house, like I would have like, some chili sauce or some dumplings. And I ran into him at the airport in LAX, and he pulls out like, like dried fruit and he gives it to me.
That's
And then
awesome.
I ran into him in Thailand at this hotel when my wife and I were vacationing, and he pulls out like he pulls out durian, right?
What? Oh my God. Stinky
Yeah,
durian.
he was a true hero of mine, like a true hero. So
Excellent. Right. Well, we're out of time. Love the chat. Best luck with the film, and chat with you again soon.
oh,
All the
hey,
best with it.
Thank you so much.
sorry.